I'm on my way to a big day out in Cromwell in central Otago. As you can see, I'm getting there by horsepower. We've been at it for a few hours already. Oh, and there's only 2 more days to go. Oh, my bum. But still, it's great. We'll be in the saddle for 2 days before we reach Cromwell. Just enough time to get to know some of the horses and their riders.
Hey, Suzy, you want a cowboy hat?
In the saddle, riding high, the mountain air, the open sky. Nothing beats the open space to contemplate the human race. It's times like this I see it all. What life's about, I feel the call. In the saddle, riding free, I see the world as it's meant to be.
Things look different at horse's pace. You're so high in the saddle, looking down on the world as it slowly moves by. Yay, rest time.
Look at the bunnies. Get the bunnies.
And time to refuel.
Good boy. Take the salt from my hand as well.
And to get to know your horse.
If you've got a horse with its ears flat back, he's saying, you're in my space.
Do their ears ever go straight forward?
When they're really, really interested in something, you know, and then the whole body will come forward and they'll get quite rigid. And tails, they talk with their tails. We have a saying, everybody goes, you look behind, happy tails. We're walking, riding along going, happy tails. And the tails are just really, they're not clamped, they're just nice.
Loose and
Yeah,
swinging,
loose and, yeah. And they're just happy tails. Happy tails and happy trails.
Sure. This trail will stretch the patience of both the horses and the riders over the next few days. You soon get to know the signs and the horses' personalities.
So I get behind someone where there's a bit of a gap, and then when the gap closes in, I've got to get out so she doesn't kick. And then she starts performing because she doesn't want to be left behind. And I try and make her stand there and wait for another gap to get in.
Shetland ponies like Muffin fit in anywhere. She's the smallest horse on the cavalcade, so she has to trot to make sure she doesn't get left behind.
They seem to enjoy it because it's something really different than what they're doing at home all the time.
There are horses of all sizes, capabilities and experience here. Not all of them have been in such a large group before, so it is much more a test of their stamina than it is for the riders. If your horse doesn't get on in a bunch, you'll find yourself riding at the back of the line wearing a red tail marker warning kicker.
Now that's a bit of an example of someone behind her there.
It's time to make the big climb up the knobby range. We've had to dismount because we're on a pretty steep grade at the moment, and I'm not complaining. It's good to walk. We're just one of several groups of over 650 horses and wagons on different trails right throughout the central Otago area. There are lots of hills to climb between Lawrence and Cromwell, so all the horses need to be hill fit, and so do the riders. You soon find out why.
Is that all?
Yeah.
This was the way everyone travelled before they had cars. It takes 3 days to cover the distance you can drive in an hour and a half. But then look at what you're missing. This is magnificent countryside. I feel like I've just stepped back in time to a time when wagons carried people and provisions across central Otago. Oh, it's awesome. But I know what they mean by rawhide. Oh, thank goodness we're breaking for lunch soon. Come on.
In the saddle with time to think
feed them all those onions, eh?
Oh, you're good fart material. What makes the horses go fast?
Yeah, can scare the horses all right. Time to refuel. No, it's childproof. I'll have to get open it with a knife. Here we go. Boy, I could do with a drink. But the horses come first. After all, they're doing all the work. So it's important they're looked after.
6 years now. Yeah.
So you didn't ride as a child?
Nope. She always wanted to. I always wanted horses. I always loved horses and I always wanted one horse. Now I've got 6.
While grass is all a horse requires, I'm after something more substantial. There are still 1 or 2 more hills between here and dinner. All too soon, it's time to saddle up and hitch the horses to the wagons. It all looks so complicated. All those belts and buckles that make up the harness.
Then we can feed it through that, look, no, just take a wee bit of time.
A wee bit of a time?
Yeah, and then we'll take that one, and then you can connect the two together. This is going very well.
The wagon next. It's secured to the harness across the horse's back.
Lined up?
Pretty much so. Yep.
There
we go.
Goes right up in there.
Harnessed together, the horses have to work as a team, and driving them takes skill and practice. It's a lot like learning to drive a car.
If you couple the reins up a wee touch, yeah, just shorten them up and just pull the head in a wee touch, and just hold it back until they actually start forming a bit better.
Oh, okay.
You notice that the head's starting to rise a bit, it's probably starting to pull the head in a wee bit because of the reins.
The horse I was riding before, you just let the reins go and he just sort of, he took me. So obviously she enjoys having that strength in the rein, that control.
Yes.
You know that you're there.
You also need to have that control.
All right. The team is at its best when they're pulling the wagon. But it's a different story when they're going downhill and the horses are being pushed by it.
Move it! Move it!
Get on there, dearie.
Move it, girl, please! I can't, I've got no brakes!
In the old days, they used stones to slow the wagon down. A strange thing about hills, for every one you go down, there's another one to climb. Back on the horse again, you don't want to lose your place and be caught near red tail. Well, we've joined the light wagon section of the trail, which is a quite handy thing because we've got another 4 hours ahead of us before we rest. Now, I'm with the trail boss. This is Chris. Hey, what does the trail boss job entail? Are you bossy?
Yeah, well, I try not to be too bossy, but a trail boss does everything. When the trust tells us where we're going to finish, which this year is Cromwell, it's up to me of how we get there. So I chose to start at Lawrence, and I've got to come and go all over these tracks and find a way for everybody to get there nice and safely. And we also have to do where we're going to sleep every night and how we're going to feed all these people and these horses.
Ah, there's nothing quite like being out here on the trail.
Starting out early at the break of day, we're on the trail. Thinking of the time we'll spend today on the trail. The horse is in line, the harness is set. There's a feeling in the air that you only ever get on the trail. Listen to the rhythm of the pounding feet on the trail. The dust and sweat in the midday heat on the trail. The load is heavy, the distance is long, but we keep on moving to the wagon wheel song on the trail. Step after a step till the end's in sight. The cavalcade comes together for the night. People remember the bygone years, giving thanks to the friends that brought them here on the trail. A weary horse has earned his rest on the trail. Along with the team, he stood the test on the trail. The work is hard for a horse's pay, but when all is said and done, it's just another day on the trail. On the trail, just another day on the trail. On the trail.
Yeah. Well, I'm pressing quite hard, but this morning she dipped right down. And that's why everyone worries about horses' backs, because if a horse's back is sore, you can't sit on it. And what we're doing here, walking, where there's the full weight of the person on the back the whole time, means that it's the hardest work, really, that you can ask of a horse to do for a long period of time. But she'll be right by tomorrow.
Almost dinner time, then bed. I'm so tired I'll be out like a light as soon as my head hits the hay. That's if I can find anywhere to sleep.
Yeah, that's it.
Doesn't look like there's much room at the inn.
There's definitely not much room at the inn. It's going to be cosy and friendly, isn't it?
Oh, sure is. After all those onions today.
Those that had onions can go out into the outside.
You've got to have a sense of humour, haven't you?
Oh, look, we go around here into there.
Well, I'll follow you then. Bah! It's going to be a big day out tomorrow. Cromwell and the country fair.
There's nothing like a big day out, a big day out. It's a big day out.
Oh. Ooh, up bright and early. We've still got a wee way ahead of us to get to Cromwell and the country fair. Looking forward to that. It's time to saddle up and get the horses prepared. Plates that have come loose or been bent on the rocky sections of trail are replaced. No one wants to be late for the parade, but hitching takes time. There are just so many straps and buckles. The horses have been groomed and are looking good. Everyone is anxious to get away on time. Oops, I think we're being reminded that if we don't get underway now, we'll miss linking up with the other trail.
Well, just steady up.
Doing the trail has helped to recapture a bit of our colonial past.
It's been a real challenge, this is.
Because this is your first cavalcade, isn't it?
Yes, first ever. I don't know whether we'll get the chance to do it again. Beautiful country to ride through, and they've enjoyed it as much as we have, I'm sure.
Oh, Brian, how did you sleep last night?
Marvellous.
Yeah.
You should have stayed in that shed. You know, I woke at 6 this morning and I heard 40 people snoring.
Oh!
What a sound.
Are you all set for the parade?
Yes, we've had a clean up this morning.
Sure. I notice you've got a brake. Do they normally have brakes?
No, but it's a modern thing, and it does save your horses. When you're going downhill, I go on the brake, and instead of the ponies having to hold back, they're just getting a free walk. And so they're full of fire, you know, they don't know they've done a cavalcade.
Oh, really?
It gives them a real rest.
Everyone else does. And you've got plenty of padding on the seat here.
Yes.
Would it be possible to join you for the parade?
Of course it will. Yes.
That would be
So
wonderful.
that'll be fine.
The horses have their ears pricked and their tails swishing. They know something special is happening.
Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come here.
Only a short run and it's all over. It's been a fantastic opportunity to be part of the trail. We've crossed 32 private properties, so without the owners' cooperation, we wouldn't have access to this wonderful country. With the end in sight, there's a great sense of achievement. The first cavalcade was in 1991 with 200 riders. Since then, it's just been getting bigger, with more trails and participants crisscrossing central Otago and ending up here in Cromwell. There are 650 horses representing nearly every breed converging on Cromwell. We're almost there. I hope we're not the last to arrive. I still want to go to the country fair. It's like streams converging into a river of horses and riders, flowing towards Cromwell and the end of the journey. There are so many horses, it's hard to find our group. Oh, can you see Muffin? The smallest pony in the cavalcade. And she made it. Brilliant day for it.
Lovely.
And we're here, we've finished it. It's great. And just in time for a look around the country fair. Hey, well, Brian, thank you very much. It was a great way to end the cavalcade in fine style.
It's been a pleasure, Suzy.
Oh,
Thanks
you.
for your company.
Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll go and check out the fair.
This is part of a gold scene. You still can see the quartz in it. It's all local gold. About half an hour from here.
That might be a bit good, right?
Come to the country fair, meet the folks all gathered here. Come to the country fair and join in the fun. It's great to be part of the country life. So much going on around us here. Good times, guaranteed to raise a smile. Good friends, bringing out that country cheer. It's all happening here today. That's why I just gotta say, come to the country fair. Meet the folks all gathered here. Come to the country fair and join in the fun. You'll see sheepdogs put to the test. Who'll win? Which one will prove the best? Take time to look around the country fair. Good food tastes so good in the country air. It's all happening here today. That's why I just gotta say, come to the country fair. Meet the folks all gathered here. Come to the country fair and join in the fun. Come to the country fair, meet the folks all gathered here. Come to the country fair and join in the fun.
What a fantastic experience being part of the cavalcade. And thanks, Cromwell, for a great country fair. And thank you for joining me.
This program was made with the help of your broadcasting fee, so you can see more of New Zealand on air.